Basics with the Petersons, and I'm Tricia, and Tim and I have been taking you guys on a little bit of a journey through our experience in rural living, and we just want to share some things. And we've shown you the outside of our property and taking you on a tour, and Tim's been talking through some things with our tractor and irrigation and all things outside. But over the years, we have really realized that a lot happens, of course, in the home. And one of the key components of what happens in the home usually takes place in the kitchen, and it goes around food. Especially since we raised a pretty good sized family. We had 4 children, and at times we had our home full of teens, or we were entertaining friends and people from work or church or whatever it was. But we've always realized that things a lot of times center around food. And food in rural living is a little bit more challenging. It's because you don't live right where there's everything's so convenient. So in these segments, I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I do in our kitchen, in our home, to help prep, to help plan, to help prepare, and really to help entertain and bring lots of great discussion and fun food moments into our kitchen. And so I'm going to be telling you what some of my favorite recipes are. I'm going to be sharing, I have always been a busy mom. I've had multiple children to raise. For 14 years, I was an at-home mom with young kids. And then when I went back to teaching later on, then I was juggling being a working mom with a house full of teenagers. And so that offered a whole nother level of challenges. And then we've always lived quite a ways from grocery stores. When we were in the middle of Washington, we were actually 45 minutes from a grocery store. So I learned quite early that a few things. Number one, I didn't love shopping on the weekends when everybody else was at Costco and Winco and Walmart or wherever I was shopping. It was really hard then because there were too many people. I didn't like to have to go to the store all the time. Instead, I wanted to be prepared in my kitchen, that regardless of what we were having, regardless of who might show up or who needs to come home tonight with whom, that I had enough supplies that I could provide a meal for our family. I also realized at a very early age when the kids were young that on the weekends, I didn't want to go shopping by myself. I wanted to be at home with my husband and kids when they were having fun, and I didn't want to have to worry about grocery shopping. So I learned to go during the week. And those are just some of the things that I did. And then I learned to shop once a month and just pick up fresh fruits and vegetables at different times when we make quick trips. But these are all things that I'm going to talk about. I also learned through the experience that it's totally rewarding to bake and cook things that people enjoy, that are healthy, that are fresh, and to be able to share them with others, whether it's our neighbors or whether it's my own family or whether it's somebody else just joining us for meals. And then at the end, if nothing else, my children worry because a lot of my recipes are in my head and I've just been doing them for years, and hopefully these are videos that my grandkids could be cooking along with me later on, even if they're not right here living with us. But anyway, those are some reasons that I want to share some of my tricks and things that I do in our kitchen in rural living. I love to first thing grow our own food, so we really try to grow as much of our own fruits and vegetables that we possibly can. I also like to make things fresh. I learned early on that larger items take a lot of space in your refrigerator and freezer, especially if you're buying a lot of your breads ahead of time. Those loaves of bread take up a lot of space in your freezer. So I learned to make them instead as I needed them, so I didn't have to buy them ahead when I was 45 minutes away from Costco, buy all this bread for a few weeks and really take up a lot of space in my freezer. I learned that I could instead have the ingredients and I could make it fresh, and it could be coming out of the oven and it could be shared with a meal. I also learned that family and friends love things like cinnamon rolls and breads that I can share with them. I've realized that when we grow our own apples, I can dry these and I can put these away and we can have them for a long period of time, and they're a great healthy snack. I've also learned along the way that the food saver is awesome, and I can dry, these are cucumber chips, and I can dry those, and they don't take up a lot of space. And then in the middle of winter, when we need a snack, instead of grabbing something that maybe isn't as healthy, we have options for us, and it's from our own garden, and so that's really rewarding also. But I hope that you will enjoy joining me. Like I said, I like to prep ahead. I like to use the least amount of time on things. I like to be efficient. So I'm gonna always show you recipes that I can do pretty quickly, but they're healthy, they're fresh, and they bring everybody to the table, and so that you can enjoy the food and the meal and the time together. That's what we're all about, right? So thank you, and I hope that you will continue to join me on our home segments as I take you into my kitchen and I show you some of my really fun, what I think are recipes, and I give you some ideas to help make the time in your kitchen as rewarding as possible. Anyway, again, thanks for joining us on Basics with the Petersons. I'm Tricia, and if you like this video, like it, subscribe to our channel. If you have things that you have questions about on how to cook this or how to bake this, make sure to put that in the comments down below, and I would love to respond to that, and I would love to make a video on that. I will tell you that I have a video coming out shortly, 4-ingredient artisan bread. It will literally take you max work time 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I think you can do it in 5 to 7, but max work time is 10 minutes for artisan bread. And I'm gonna give you some really quick tips on that. I am going to teach you how to make the perfect cinnamon rolls in no time flat. And I'm going to show you how to package them nicely that you can share with neighbors. You can take them for those Christmas gifts for people. You can give them to the friend that's having a birthday. Different ideas, because food is always a fun way to share joy. But those are some of my upcoming ideas. I'll also show you how I dry things. So stay tuned with Basics of the Petersons. Thank you.